All right, guys, I'm here today to show you the brand new Ketch Kwik Release system. Some of you are asking, why do I want to pay almost twice as much as Motor Guide or Minn Kota for a quick release? Well, if you've tried those quick releases, you know exactly why. But for the people that haven't used them, the U-bolt styles tend to shake and they don't offer a very positive connection to the boat. What we've done here is used a dovetail design where the clasps actually pull the unit together and make it dead stiff comparatively. So you're not going to get any play, you're not going to lose any power from your motor based on mechanical inefficiencies of a quick release system. My two major components here are my tongue and my fork. The tongue is the apparatus that we're going to put on the boat on the motor mount, and the fork is the apparatus that we're going to mount to the bottom, in this case, of an XI5 motor guide, which is going to attach the motor to the bow mount system. All right, so on the front end of our boat, we already have the Ketch motor mount system for the Hobie PA14. As you can see, you can tell by which 5 holes are counterbored. You can see there's 5 counterbored holes right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to line them up with these spots on the motor mount. Now, there's no need to align this thing. What you'd like to do is just get a thread or two started. We machine these to really tight tolerances, so aligning this is not a guessing game. You'll even find that after you use one for quite a bit of time that the threads might imprint on the inside, the ID of the hole, and that's because we don't allow much slop, and because the performance gain that you get all depends on this motor being pointed in the right direction. It's the same reason we put a shim in the mount. Is the same reason all these things are super tight. And since we machine the motor mount and the quick release, as you can see, I've got 0 issues. We're just going to snug them down, tighten them up, and that's it for the tongue. Before we go and mount the fork to the trolling motor, I just wanted to take advantage to show you how stiff the system is while we've got a little kind of handle built right here. So I'm going to go ahead and install just the fork without the motor on it onto our quick release. It does so with just 2 clasps. It's done. So if the motor's here, the motor's now installed. And I just want to show you, we're lifting the entire boat. Do you see any shake? Do you see a lot of flex in that system? That's what this is designed to do. It's designed to be rigid, and it's designed to give you the most performance out of your motor. You know, you're going to go spend maybe $1,000, $1,500 putting a motor up here. You might spend $500 to $1,000, maybe more than that, on a battery to power this whole system. So if you want to get the most efficiency, the most speed, the most performance out of your setup, you need to think about where the performance is in the little details. And this is a spot where we've seen massive increases in efficiency and slight increases actually in top speed versus other people's mounting systems. Now we're going to go and install the fork onto the trolling motor. In this case, this is an XI5. I've already pulled the side plates off. There's either 1 or 2 bolts on the side of your trolling motor that just hold this piece on, which essentially is just a piece of it's a piece of plastic shrouding that goes around the motor. You'll need to take that off to access this aluminum plate here where you're going to install any sort of quick release system that you'd be using. We're going to orientate this thing. Obviously, we need it to go on the boat and into the fork. So the easiest way to make sure you have it on the right way is look for the counterbores. Here's the counterbores all along this side. You have several options of where you can mount these, and you'll see why as we look at this. What you'll see is, depending on what motor you have, there's a different linkage down here, and the XI3s is a little different than the XI5. But on this motor, for example, because we have a hinge so close to this mounting point, we would never want to use this mounting point. So we're going to use this mounting point here. We're going to use these 3 in this application. But we have a few options on there, mostly because the XI3 to XI5 and the Minn Kota equivalents kind of do the same thing, where the holes are in a little bit of a different spot. So you have some options, but we're going to put basically six bolts and 6 nuts in this thing, and we're good to go. You're going to kind of try to want to align to the motor plate in this situation. You know, right now we're using a combination nut that's got a little lock washer built into it. I don't know if this is what the stock hardware is going to look like. We're shooting this quite a bit before this product's going to be released, but it'll either be a nylon lock nut with a washer or it'll be something similar to this. All right, guys, I've got this basically where I want it. All I'm going to do is go back and tighten everything down. Now that we have the quick release system all set up, all that's left to do is just put the shrouds on the side of the trolling motor, and we're going to mount it back to the boat and make sure everything works. We're all installed. The quick release fork is on here. The tongue's sitting on the boat. So let's just connect it and see how everything works. You can see, just slide it down against the mount. Push this all the way forward. Clasp it in. Other side, just like I demonstrated before. And that's it. It's all mounted up. Adapting the quick release will work immediately with our bow mount system for the SS127, which is sitting back here. We have a forthcoming mount for the new canoe, which it'll also work with. And we plan to adapt it to as many platforms as we possibly can, and as many different items that you're taking on and off your boats frequently. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments. Let us know what you think.
All right, guys, last little tip. We shot the installation video quite a few months ago, and one of the things that we realized we forgot to tell you was these clips that we use to fasten the system together. The only real way you can make this fail is if you leave these clips in the open position when you're transporting. As I open it up, you can see that this clip can be left like this. Well, if you leave this to hang up, you give it quite a bit of leverage to pull these screws out, and all you want to do is, after you're done taking this off, just snap it shut. These clasps close and lock shut, so you're not worried about pulling this off. This is plastic and it does have a helicoil in it, but the one mode of failure that we found was if you forgot to clasp these shut, it could catch on things and cause a premature failure. So we just wanted to make sure you know that. Thank you for watching the video. We'll catch you next time.